Previously, on Twilight's Edge. Finally above ground and reunited with their friends from the tavern raid, it's time to understand what the hell is going on. A band of concerned citizens have ideas about making changes in West Crown, which is pulling ties from most of the party members. Plans to spring some important prisoners are made, but not before partaking in Nico's delicious meal, imbued with gratitude for the journey thus far, and with courage for what's to come.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Tumble Through podcast.
Tumble through!
Tumble through!
Tumble through!
I am your host and GM, Crifu Bernal, pronouns he, him, and I'm super excited to be here with this crew. Hope y'all are doing great.
I'm doing
fine
great.
and dandy. Your temporary Texas accent has affected me. My name is Ida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm going to be playing Sombra. Pronouns she and they. She is a Kayal or fetchling monk. She's here to punch things.
Punch.
I can't do that accent, I think. Hi, I'm Anna. I use they them pronouns, and I'm playing Lowen, he, they pronouns. He is a Hellspawn Nephilim wizard with a criminal background.
Well there, howdy y'all. My name's Marcus, pronouns are he, him, and I'll be playing Zakoon, who is a Grave Orc Oracle who is totally not from the Lone Star State. How y'all doing, folks?
Oh, a country oracle. Like, that would be so cool. Cowboy oracle.
Well, look what we got here. It's Evan, pronouns he, him, and I'll be playing my Rainfall Druid Orc, Nico. Also, he, him.
It makes me think of the new imagery of the orcs in, I probably shouldn't say it, but the new D&D. And how they were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't mention them around here, these parts.
In them their parts.
But the orcs there do have like a very much, in that new imagery, do have like a very much like Western sort of, or Southwestern American vibe, which I'm absolutely here for. Like, it's such a cool take.
Nico strides out of the building wearing his chaps shirt unbuttoned down to his belly button.
I stopped listening at Chaps, and the potential fan art is just coursing behind
Please
my
produce
clothes.
fan art of Nico.
Yeah, we need Nico and Chaps, everyone.
Nico Ranger.
So, as the camera opens, we are back in the Shrine of Eridan in the southern part of land-based West Crown. Dinner has finished for the most part, and the various, calling them rebels, I still don't want to call them rebels. They're not rebels. They've said adamantly that they are not rebels.
Concerned citizens.
The concerned citizens of this group have kind of gone to different parts of the safe house. Morris and Genevan have gone into the kitchen to clean up after Vitti and Nico and Fugo did such a great job of cooking a wonderful meal. We find ourselves in the dining room, which wasn't big enough to necessarily hold everyone, and that's why our sewer dwellers, who maybe during while the others were sewer dwellers is not the right, yeah, I saw some faces when I said that.
That is not our party.
No,
please no.
No.
That's not canon.
No.
Not canon.
I mean, it has a certain ring to it.
No, that's not.
That's the
No.
wrong kind of ring. We're not.
The folks who most recently came out of the sewers, maybe while the first shift of using the dining table was happening, they were taking the chance to wash up. And so now we see just the party here in this small, kind of cramped dining room around this table. Sombra, Fugo is on the table next to Nico, Zekun, Lowen, and Flint is in the corner, quietly sipping some sort of drink and with another rolled up cigarette that Yako left him before she went her way somewhere else in the shrine. For we are in lockdown. If I haven't mentioned, if you don't remember from last time, Genevan has said nobody goes in or out for the night. We need to lay low while the Order of the Rack is scouring the city for whatever they were looking for at Vizio's Tavern.
Thank you so much for this fantastic meal, Nico.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always good to bring people together around food. Everyone just relaxes a bit, and we needed some relaxing after our time in the sewers, I thought. And I think it also helped calm down Ravaja as well, because they were pretty hit up out there.
I think we can all understand from what kind of place she's coming from. We've been through something. I think I should check in with her. And Zekun like nods at everyone, gets up from the table, and leaves the dining room to head to wherever Ravaja is.
Zekun, I see on Foundry that you are Cursebound 2.
Exactly. I have not taken the time yet to reduce my curse, but if the dinner would be considered time where I could do that,
sure,
I wouldn't mind shedding some of the curse bound I have on me.
How much can you shed during the dinner?
It takes me a refocus to lower it by 1, so it's 10 minutes. So I could, depending, unless we're rushing our dinner, I probably could get rid of both my stacks of curse bound.
Sure, you were washing up and then you went to dinner.
Yeah.
There was stuff happening, but I'm curious, what is the difference? Like, what were you looking like when you were curse bound?
I think especially when we got out of the sewers and slowly settled into this shrine where we're here for the night, the more perceptive members of the party would have noticed that throughout the course, through the journey through the sewers, Zekun lost whatever color was left on his body. His skin got more ashen, his eyes grew more dim, and his physical properties became an even starker contrast with the very colorful, rainbow-colored robe or cape he's wearing. And now during this dinner, and while washing up and relaxing a bit, the faint bits of color that are on his body return. There's more of a flush of life on his cheeks as the curse-bound effects slowly fade away from him.
Nico's pretty perceptive. Would he have noticed that?
I was going to ask, anyone who is trained in... What school of magic do you use, Zekun?
Divine.
Anyone who is trained in religion, feel free to make a secret recall knowledge check.
Don't forget, everyone starts with 1 hero point.
Not that helps on secret checks.
Yes, the Lore Master is back. Thank goodness. Oh. Is anyone doing it?
I was about to ask, is anyone...
I'm not trained in religion. I'm trained in Arcana and Occultism, if that helps. I'm not trained in religion.
With training in Arcana and Occultism, as well as Nico being trained in Nature, those are all magic skills that you can use to recall magic. I wonder, I'm sure you can tell that there is some sort of magic effect happening with Zekun that was building up and then was fading away. But without that religion understanding, it's going to make it a lot harder to know, because it's a divine curse, essentially.
Oh, Lowen was absolutely later gonna just straight up ask. Yeah, but Zekun walked off and he's like, okay, you gotta do whatever you want to do.
Zekun leaves this dining room. This dining room is, as I mentioned, very small, and it's also it's one of those weird rooms that I don't like, where it's a room in between another room.
Right. Yeah.
So, like, in order to get to a room, the room in between this and the kitchen, or you have to go through either the dining room or the kitchen to get to another room where we know that Amaya and Ermolos are, like, relaxing. It seems like a secondary dining room, I guess. I don't know why this map has like 2 dining rooms next to each other, but whatever. The concerned citizens have done the best they can. So Zekun heads out. You saw Ravaja leave and then turn right deeper into the shrine when she left. She's up here. And so as you step into the shrine, you can see 3 people in here. And now the fading light, some candles have been lit, but you have dark vision, so it doesn't really matter. Everyone's got dark vision in this party. So as you step into the shrine, you can see to the right is the gnomish woman Jacopulio, who's setting up a bedroll on one of the pews there. On the platform above, on the platform above where the lectern is, you can see in the right corner a large statue of what must be Eridan. You don't need to make a religion check on that. His face is freaking everywhere in the city. And you see the halfling woman Fioza kneeling there and praying. And of course then on the left, sort of kind of sheltered by the platform where the lectern is and 2 other pews, you see Ravaja sort of angrily setting up her bedroll here.
Well, going by our standards, this is still a pretty good place to rest for the night, isn't it, Ravaja?
Do you say that in common or in Orcish?
Orcish.
You're right, I've slept in worse places. Instead of putting the bedroll on the pew, she lays it out in the corner here on the floor. But I'm still not happy about this, Zekun.
You had some fairly choice words about our current companions.
I thought, after all of the trouble that we've experienced from the humans in West Crown at the Pleats, I thought Genevan could help us, could teach us could be the bridge between our community and theirs. But she's not a bridge. She's a blade, threatening to split and slice what security we have.
I get where you get that impression from. We're here to build bridges, aren't we? We've seen enough blades in our life so far.
I don't want to see any more fighting, and I don't want our people being used as scapegoats or painted as criminals. We're not that.
No, we're not.
We're refugees, goddammit.
And when she says the word refugees, you see Zekun still hasn't really processed that word. The idea of being somewhere that isn't his home, where he's trying to build a new home. And he lets a silence linger for a moment between him and Ravaja, and then says, I don't think helping them would make us criminals per se. I don't think the intention is to paint us as scapegoats.
You heard their plan. They plan on attacking a Hell Knight carriage tomorrow to free prisoners.
And who determined that these prisoners are imprisoned rightfully? What if the law of this land is something they rightfully fight against?
The law of this land is one dictated by House Thrune, who are the allies of Belkson and Ardax the White-Haired.
Yes, for in the long history of our people, we have never had poor choices in allies, now have we?
She throws you a dirty look.
I'm sorry, I don't want to agitate you any more than you already rightfully are. But and he holds on for a moment. I know what you're going to say, Ravaja. You're going to tell me also that I put trust too quickly in people. But I think that if we help Genevan out with this one, she can help us build a bridge.
Go ahead and make me a diplomacy check, please.
Diplomacy.
We are trying to influence, improve attitude. Yeah. I mean, she's already friendly, so I think we're...
That is a total of 12, but I have a hero point.
You do.
I think I want to really make sure that Zekun's point is coming across, and so I'm going to use my hero point to reroll that. into a total of 16, going up from a 12 to a 16.
16.
Hey, I don't know if it's possible, but could I have asked Fugo to collect dishes out and about? He's got speech. He doesn't have hands, but he has an upturned like cap which he could carry them on, and he could also just ask people if they're finished with their dish and go around collecting them.
Yes.
Okay, he wants to eavesdrop as well.
Sure.
Just be careful. He does not have mushroom on his head.
Oh, psychic damage.
Yeah,
psychic damage.
But I will say the majority of the plates are here in F6 and F5, where the two tables are next to the kitchen. Are you stating that Fugo, with like a look from you, scampered out behind Zekun and went to eavesdrop?
100% yes.
Okay. And Fugo understands Orcish.
Oh, of course.
Naturally. Okay.
Oh, well, does it say on his very limited sheet?
I am pretty sure that your familiar speaks any languages that you, as the master, speak.
It understands and speaks a language you know.
There we go. Orcish
It doesn't say one language. It also doesn't say all languages.
It says a language,
Yeah.
which sounds like one.
I'm happy for
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
So, Fugo, as the camera... Okay, hold on. There's...
Sorry, I just threw that in there.
Could have also said low, and he also understands Orcish. Just go look over there.
A 16
16, yeah.
is enough for her to... She puts her back up to the wall where the platform is and like slides down and sits, crosses her legs, clasps her hands in her lap, and sort of like looks down. I cannot make an alliance with Genevan and her people in the name of the whole of Westcrown. But Zekun, if you would like to work with them, I won't stop you.
Sounds like a good way to go about it. But I want to make sure if I work with Genevan that you know that my goals are ultimately your goals. And I want to do my best to do what's best for our people here. So, if I get the impression that she won't build bridges and will just burn them, well, then I'll come back to you. And you can once again tell me I told you so, Zekun.
And if we were to think that Genevan and her whelps were moving against the Tatari or the hellknights or whoever counts as the law here, then maybe it would earn us a point or two in their favor if we were to... And she lets it hang in the air.
And Zekun had a smile on his face from his cheeky remark about her getting to say I told you so, but when she says that, he realizes what she's implying with that. And his expression changes. And he just says, we'll talk about that later. Just leaving it undecided at this point.
Okay, Fugo rolled a 16 on stealth. Not necessarily saying Fugo's trying to hide, but isn't like trying... I'm sure Fugo is trying to be not
Blend.
super noticeable.
There might be clinking utensils or a stack of plate or a mug
Right.
balanced on a plate, and
Ravaja definitely noticed. And
Zekun doesn't.
Zekun doesn't. So Ravaja like looks up and she sees from where she's sitting, like through the pews, she sees Fugo like tilting their mushroom cap to the side and overtly, not overt, clearly like trying to listen in. She gives them like this like death stare, and Fugo like straightens up and quickly like runs to the other side of the room.
Zekun looks in the direction that Ravaja looked and sees the little fellow rushing away with the clinking of plates on their head. And Zekun turns to Ravaja and says, you should take some rest. We'll talk about all of this later. And he gets back up and will make his way back to his party, really especially mulling about that last line that Ravaja put there.
What were the rest of you doing during this conversation?
Sombra, without asking, would have been putting things away, but you notice that immediately, wherever things needed to go up on higher shelves, that was the first task she did.
Okay.
If there had to be cups or plates put in cupboards that were shelves higher, that's immediately where she first put things away.
Is she using chores to exercise? Is that...
No, she's legitimately just putting things away in whatever high places they might already have belonged to.
Oh, okay.
But specifically high places.
Why
Interesting.
that? Yeah.
I think Lowen would have taken time to write a... I'm assuming, do Lowen and Zyman usually communicate through letters? Is that how they... trying to figure out what would have been making the most sense if they were like wanting to meet up.
I don't know.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I think letters would make sense maybe, but I feel like if Lowen would send it to a specific point where he knows to collect, like not like directly to his house.
Maybe to like a business.
Yeah, maybe. That makes sense, I think.
So Lowen's writing letters.
He's writing a letter to Zyvan in... Well, he's trying not to avoid common, so if he speaks diabolic, that would be perfect. Or possibly Elven or Shadow Tongue?
He definitely speaks Shadow Tongue.
Is there a written version of that? I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay, then he would...
He speaks Diabolic as well, and Elven. And
Okay, cool.
Draconic, Dwarven, Fey, and Halfling.
Wonderful. I think he would have actually then gone instead for Shadow Tongue. I think he would write a letter in that, and I think he's just requesting a meet-up at some point, especially going off the information that he'd given Lowen before about Julana. He's been giving that some thought over dinner.
Who else speaks Shadow Tongue in this party?
Not the fetchling.
Ah, okay, I was wondering.
Yeah, Lowen specifically tried to pick a less common language that he thought would be a lower chance the others might understand. He doesn't want anyone to try and read it.
Got it. And Nico, what are you doing?
Nico's going to be probably washing up. He's going to ask Vidi to help as well.
Vidi has stepped out, so if you want to go looking for him.
Yeah, we'll go looking for him.
So as you step out of the dining room, you can see Zekun and Ravaja have moved into the shrine, whereas to your left, you see Vidi and Larko at the front door and the large curtains that have been covered with heavy blackout drapery.
Oh, hey, Vidi, are you busy? Can you give me a hand, or are you busy?
Vidi looks at Larko. Larko says, "Well, we're supposed to be on watch, but if it's just a moment." He nods.
Yeah, it won't take long. I mean, I can use magic to speed things up.
Sure. Okay. Vidi smiles and walks over.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, just want to catch up with you while we wash up. Is that all right? Need to know what's going on. Out of earshot of Larko and stuff, boys.
Sure. Let's step into here. And he literally goes to the door to his left, and brings you in. Takes like one of the candles from this area, and brings it into this office, this room that you step into. That's an office, and you probably maybe had a tour. You can tell this through this office is the stairs that lead to the platform where that lectern is. Normally, Genevan and Ariel use this space, but we can talk in here freely. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, but there's a lot going on, and seems to be a lot going on with you and all these people, and I don't like not knowing. I mean, there's a lot of heat came down at Vizio's, and there seems to be a lot of trouble because you've obviously these people have stirred up the Armigers. And
It's mostly just Ariel. He's sort of the public face of our group, and he's pretty vocal about feeling like things aren't very good in Westground. Although things have gotten a lot better in the last few years. The curfew is gone, and the taxes have been lessened. I mean, yeah, the shadow monsters are really bad, and Geneva and Ariel talk about getting rid of them one day, but I don't know how that's gonna happen. But we just want to make Westground a better place.
yeah, I mean that's great. I'm all for that, but why would just saying being vocal cause armed armigers to come out to like harm you?
Are you familiar with the Order of the Rack at all?
Not hugely, no.
I mean, their main job out of all the Hell Knight orders is hunting down heretics and dissidents. And they're based outside of Westcrown. Citadel Revad is supposed to be a nasty place.
Okay, so they're not even part of West Crown, but how come why are they here then?
Well, House Thrune gives them the right to do whatever they want in Cheliax.
House Thrune?
Nico, how long have you been here? He smiles half jokingly.
Not a huge amount of time, I don't think, but I probably just keep to myself and my plants and my animals and, you know, trying to make things good for people, but I don't know the big picture.
You're so... And he's like grinning. A part of me wishes you never came here. You shouldn't have to live in a place like this, but I'm really glad you're here, Nico.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm here as well, and I'm glad I've met you. But even Geneva and those friends said that, you know, were surprised that we dealt with those armigers. Like, it sounds like you're trying to do good, but you just don't have the people.
We're not fighters.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to make connections. I have to be honest. The reason why I've been spending so much time in the Arboretum is so that we can make a connection there. Geneva and Ariel hope by reaching out to the marginalized communities of Westground, we can build a network of those who need help the most. And the Leshies, they're so fresh and new and young, they don't even know what cages are, Nico.
Yeah, I know, and they're like, their community is very new, but it sounds like you already kind of earmarked them to be allies in a fight that they don't even know about.
No, we want to protect them. At least I do.
Okay, well that's good. So do I.
You're a strong fighter, Nico. The way you decimated those goblins this morning.
Well, that was... Yeah, I don't like to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to do that.
But you could really do good. We could use someone like you. Plus, you're an amazing cook.
There is that. Okay, well, I'm not opposed to helping people in need. That's clearly something that aligns with me, but I'm not looking for a fight. I never have. So I'll hear what people have to say. And, you know, I won't be too far from your side, I hope.
I'd feel a lot better if you were with us tomorrow when we take on those hellknights.
Ooh, well, I've still got a lot of produce that I want to sell. Yeah, you just said you're all not very good at fighting, so.
This is a weird, out of character, and maybe it's because we've been playing Vampire, but like I want to like take Vidi and like I'm now struggling with Vidi. Is he going to like try and actively recruit you in a way that like wouldn't necessarily be the most nice thing to do?
Like manipulatively?
Yeah. Okay, we'll pan away and we'll come back to it. And Zekun is coming back into the dining room.
I think if Zakun like has been sat down again for like maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds or something, Owen just sort of like finishes writing and looks up and is like, "You're looking a lot better. I thought you were on death's door then."
I knocked at that door a few times in my life, but how would you not feel better after a meal as delicious as this one?
I suppose, but that is not what I was referring to, and you know that.
Zekun is looking at Lowen, smirks, leans forward, and says, "You seem to know a thing or two about the supernatural. I've seen you fling your sword around and it hovers back. The neat little fire out of nowhere.
You consider that to be supernatural. I consider that to just be magic.
Ah, you're trying to lure me into a philosophical conversation about the difference between magic and the supernatural. Well, I've had that conversation a few times in my life.
I am just interested to learn.
So Zekun, because Sombra has her back turned, was putting away the last things. So does mean every time you patch people up in that way, that makes you ill, that makes you worse?
Helping people in that way doesn't really make me worse. I kind of think it's the reason why I'm still around.
Sounds like something a masochist would say.
And I take it you are the expert on matters of self-sacrifice?
Just masochism.
He snickers. But to answer your question, when I use the gifts that have been bestowed upon me, I take some of my life and give it to someone else.
The fuck?
Poetic, I suppose. Well, I suppose that is a sacrifice that you will have to choose to make then, and, well, I respect that in a way, but also do try to not drop dead for the sake of others. I don't think that is worth it.
Zekun smiles, but then also seems a little bit confused by that statement. And he says, have you ever been around people who truly made a sacrifice for others? Who gave their all to their last dying breath?
No, I've only been around people who are willing to sacrifice others to their others' last dying breaths.
That, yes.
Well, then I understand the context of your remark. What I'm doing is not a sacrifice. What I'm doing is helping. And sometimes help comes at a bit of a cost.
Well, I suppose if that cost is your life, that would be an awfully high cost, and I don't think that would be worth it, but to each their own. I guess that is an interesting philosophical conversation for us.
Oh, one day I'll get you on that philosophical conversation on magic and the supernatural. Is everything all right over here? Where did Nico go?
Probably after his boyfriend.
Boyfriend?
Something like that.
Jesus.
Well, it is good to know that there's people in even a city like this who take time to chase love.
People chasing love shouldn't be in situations like this.
I don't think you really get to decide where it is you find love.
That's true. But you don't also get to decide when tragedy and heartbreak find you because you got yourself in situations like this. But hey, maybe they'll be lucky.
It's about this Vidi kid, right?
Yes.
I get what Nico sees in him. He's kind of cute.
Well, don't go fighting over him then. That would be an awful start of whatever this collaboration is.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong. No, I have better things to do with my time.
Right.
Not meaning that this is a futile thing to do, and you actually see this is a bit of like a callback to the very first conversation Lowen and Zekun had, where Zekun was just like tripping over his own words, and he's realizing as he said this, like, wait, this was not good to say. And he's like,
Lowen's just watching, sort of leans forward, like chin in his like hand, just watching with like this like amused smile.
Not that it's a bad choice to choose for love and these kind of things, situations. It's not just what I would choose, but I don't also always make the right choices. Is there still something to drink?
I think while Lowen and Zekun were having that exchange, Sombra just turned around and just wiped the table down. Probably would have noticed if Lowen's letter was out in the open.
I think when he finished it, he well, it might have still. It's in a notebook, so he would have like later torn out. But it would have been so. But he would have. I will say, even though the notebook was open, he would have had his hands resting on it,
I think Sombra just would have glanced over, and you would have seen her like strain her eyes a bit. Would have seen her mouth starting to move like confusedly, and just rolls her eyes and goes back to cleaning the table. But I don't know. Above the table, it's like saying. Just to put stereotypes down, it's like saying a person of a nationality does not speak their own nation's language.
Right.
So you would expect fetchlings to speak shadow tongue.
Yeah, I think a little like obviously sees you trying to look as you know, I guess for him would be like, oh, you know, she's a fetchling, she might read this. And I think he would just sort of look up at Sombra and be like, what do you see? I can move my hands if you would prefer, but I think that these are private matters. If you wouldn't mind,
you can keep to your love letters.
Oh yes, it's absolutely a love letter. You are correct.
Yeah. Yeah. You're all touched. What a place for love. No judging.
Mm-hmm.
Just
yes, it seems like there's
external judge. Just a lot of judging.
Okay.
A lot of judging.
There's a lot of love going around here.
I do think like would Lowen then notice, because you said you would have looked confused, and also because you're like got love letters and whatever, that you don't seem to understand what this is. Could I roll for that? Maybe.
I don't know what it would be. A sense motive, like a perception check. But I don't know what we're rolling against. I don't think Sombra's trying to hide it or anything.
Okay.
That question would be best left for Ida to answer.
Sombra would definitely just like immediately get disinterested in it because there's scribbles on a piece of paper. Love letter.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Speaking of love letters.
Speaking of love letters.
Yeah.
The camera pans back into the darkened office space where Viti and Nico are standing. With just the light of a candle, it is a little, one could call it romantic.
Oh.
But it's really always interesting to me when it comes to characters with dark vision, because you see Viti's face in full color because this candle's right here, and then everything beyond that fades to grayscale. Could it be perhaps the vision of love brightening? No, I don't know. But I think this leads me to wonder now about Viti's character development.
Yep.
Viti, this is a little out of character, but I think Nico and Viti both recognize that they are developing feelings for one another.
Sure.
And Viti recognizes that and recognizes that Nico is returning them. But Viti also wants Nico to fight with them tomorrow morning. And I think Viti would then be struggling with how can I use these, should I even use these feelings to try as a crowbar?
Oh, that's so rough. I mean, if you're in a sort of like honey trap.
I'm not saying I don't think he's any
Nico into like, and then Halpine. You could try, but Nico's really super wise, but also a little bit naive, clearly, about what's going on. So we could see how it develops. It could be down to a roll.
Yeah, I struggle with it because that's not who Viti is.
No, but Viti really they need the help, don't they? I don't think you'd have to go that far down. You could straight out just ask, and I'm pretty sure Nico would be like, because it could backfire badly. It could be like,
it could, but that's kind of juicy. Then we prolong the will they, won't they?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm struggling.
Oh, so, I mean, I was just going to go and do my rounds with the food cart tomorrow, so I don't actually have any pressing plans. But I also, I already said I'm happy to help, but I don't want to fight. I don't want to go on you're all clearly going to go out. I've got a bad feeling about it. It's going to end up bloody. That's what I think in my heart of hearts. what do you think? And I'm looking directly into his eyes while I'm saying that.
I think if I went out there with the rest of our crew and the new people that you've already fought with, and if I knew that the strong and powerful orc that I saw this morning in the Rambling Gardens was there with us, I'd feel like anything is possible.
Make a charisma check.
Let's see. This stat block is just like random, is commoner, so it's just gonna be a flat 20. 16.
I was gonna say give bonuses for being cute.
Yeah. 16 on a flat check is good.
I mean, that doesn't beat your will DC, which is 19. You are very
but
nice.
I'm not actively sort of like opposing that at the
Right.
same time either. So I'm like, I'll take this as like a bit of a cue, and I'll wrap my arm around him, and I'll be like, "Wow, that's how you feel about it. We ride tomorrow, but probably walk because I don't have anything to ride."
Well, that's why you're with us. We'll have horses by the morning.
But I'm not saying like, I'm going to be, this is, me all in on whatever this is, but I don't want to see you get hurt.
Thank you, Nico. And he takes his other arm and like also puts it around you. And they're hugging. I don't know if we go any further than that on the first embrace.
No, and certainly not in the office.
7 minutes of heaven.
Especially when you open the door and Larko's standing there, kind of like,
Oh, hey, Larko. No dishes in there. I'll enjoy the rest of your watch, Vidi. Bye.
Larko like raises an eyebrow, and Vidi is blushing furiously.
Okay, and I'll go over and I'll scoop up Fugo with all his plates.
Fugo has been scampering around, but yeah, he came back, scooped him up, and went back with the plates into the kitchen.
Glance around. Tell me everything.
You have a boyfriend? Is what Sombra says as soon as Nico steps back into the kitchen.
Well, it's early days, but yeah, I think I do. Is that okay?
It's not whether it's okay with me, that's not the problem.
No, I wasn't. You didn't need to answer.
But if it distracts you, or the other person, then you're both going to be... Things won't be the same anymore if something goes wrong.
What do you mean distracts? I don't get what you're getting at here.
Whatever.
I know it's probably not the right time, but who hurt you, Sombra? Who hurt you?
Hellknights. Who haven't they hurt? You know?
A lot of people. By the sounds like a lot of people. But even in dark times, you take what you can, especially if it's given freely both ways.
Just sucks to lose it is what I'm saying. So don't lose it. And don't put yourself in positions where you can lose it.
Okay.
Talking about positions, Zekun has been sitting there just staring in a cup of tea or something that's been handing out.
Can I say, the moment you say it, Lowen goes, yes, which one's your favorite?
Zekun legit doesn't get the joke and is just looking confused at Lowen. Personally, I love an ambush from an elevated area when we have clear view of the enemy and we can use the terrain to our advantage. But what I was actually referring to, you are all in on this plan tomorrow?
I'm in.
Yes. That was the deal.
I'm in, but I'm in because I really don't think that it would be successful if we weren't in.
So, all of us who hardly know each other are going to throw in our lot with this operation. that is making attempts against the ruling law in this city.
It sounds a lot. It sounds like a lot when you put it like that.
I'm not trying to dissuade anyone. Going by what I've heard and learned so far in this city, I can understand the motivations of these people.
They fucking started it.
That is often a good reason to get you started. What I just want to make sure is, if we're going to be in this together, I want to make sure everyone here is committed to it as well. Sombra might be hurt by someone, but she does have a point. We all stand something to lose. And I would hate for being involved in having any of you lose anything. And for my perfectly own egotistical reasons, I don't want my people to lose anything in here.
I don't think I have that much to lose. My person, if you will, because we all seem to have one, seems to be told to stay put. He's going to remain here, so.
Zekun, I understand that you've got people have got a person, but you've got a people. But I'm 100% committed. I want to see this through. I want it to be done properly, and then hopefully without any repercussions. And I think by working together as quickly and as quietly as possible is our best chance.
Zekun just nods, takes a sip from his tea. Sounds like the only thing between us and this grand plan, then, is a good night of sleep.
But in what positions? And Sombra gives a bit of a sneer to Lowen.
Yeah, Lowen looks very amused.
Well, I like to lie on my side when I sleep. And
All right, tell me more.
I think that's a great place.
Tumble Through presents Twilight's Edge, a Pathfinder 2nd edition actual play of the Council of Thieves adventure path, converted from Pathfinder 1st edition. Tumble Through uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy, paizo.com/licenses/fan content. Tumble Through is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Incorporated and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.